Ticket.
All right, let's have some fun. How about some football? How about some beer? That's what we're about this week for the NFL draft and all the money, all the value of beer we are giving away. It's never been done in the history of this program before. $1,000 in beer-only giveaways in a 48-hour period or so. We're Prater in the Ballgame. Welcome, 5 o'clock here, KTIK The Ticket. Happy to have you, 208-424-9300, Prater. We got our Sockeye, Alehouse, NFL, KTIK draft party on Friday, and we have our Western proper shindig on Friday. Did I say Thursday the first time?
Nope. First one's Thursday.
Totally messing that
That's
up.
all right.
Thursday, we're at Sockeye.
That's what happens
for a
when
KTIK draft party.
What happens when you spend too much time with Prater?
And Friday, we're at Western proper, downtown, for Western Collective, Joe Nickel, Horseshoe Collective, and the launch party for the new lager, I believe, that's coming out. Ale.
It's an ale, and every little bit of money, I believe it's about 10% of that sale goes to Boise State student athletes, name, image, and likeness funds. So not only are we going to give away 5 $100 gift cards on Friday, you can get you can go to the launch party on Saturday at Western Collective in Garden City and raise a lot of cash for Boise State and Boise State student athletes.
All right, well said. Now, maybe Boise State fans will hear multiple names drafted from Boise State in this draft over the weekend, because here's the thing, Prater. If John Ojukwu and Scott Matlock are one of them, they will join a very prestigious club. Let's be honest. There's 5 players, 5 people who played high school football in the Treasure Valley that went on to play at Boise State and ended up getting drafted. Now, before we get into this list, LVE did not play high school football in the Treasure Valley. So please stop texting us and telling us that we're forgetting about Leighton Vander Esch. Riggins is not in the Treasure Valley. And what was the other ones, Prater?
Well, we left out Corey Hall because Glens Ferry is not even close to the Treasure Valley. I think the other one was
Council.
Matt Paradis Council.
Yeah, we left those out.
Treasure Valley. Basically Ada and Canyon County.
5, Prater.
Although Marsing is in Owyhee County, but it's separated by a river and a bridge.
And Matlock is
Homedale.
Treasure Valley.
Just right down the street in Canyon County. So Boise, John Ojukwu, Boise High School, and Scott Matlock this week. So hopefully we can get that sucker up to 7. But yeah, Jeb Putzier in 2002 Eagle High School, Brock Forsey, Centennial High School, went drafted in 03. Derek Schouman, again, out of Eagle High School in 07. Shea McClellin out of Marsing High School in 2012. And Nate Potter out of Timberline High School here in Boise in 2012. Those are the 5 Treasure Valley kids that have been drafted from Boise State into the NFL. Ballgame, we want to spend the next 10 minutes kind of ranking these careers 1 through 5. Who had the best NFL career out of those 5?
Yep. What do you guys think? Best career? I think this is up for debate a little bit. You can call us at 208-424-9300. Also, JP, get some lines ready if anybody wants to come talk. Maybe you guys played high school football with some of these guys and whatnot, Prater. Should we start from 5 all the way down, or should we start from number 1?
Let's go with number 5 all the way down.
I'm going to say Nate Potter. Bless his heart, Nate Potter, I believe, started 8 games as a rookie. Maybe it was 6 as a rookie. And then his second year, he didn't start a game. He only played 2 quick years in Arizona with the Cardinals as primarily a backup. Injuries forced him to be released after the second year of a 4-year contract that must have been bought out. I'm not sure how that ended, but Nate Potter never played NFL football again. Not certain if he was in a camp after that or not, Prater. But for me, just by serious injury default of those 5, Nate Potter had the worst NFL career. It sounds like I'm being mean to the guy. I love Coach Potter, but I only played about a year and a half. Had a little more than a cup of coffee in the league. Good for him, though.
Yeah, made about $1 million. I put him down number 5 for me as well. So that's a consensus there. A left tackle guard. He was a left tackle, 7th rounder, 221st overall. Out of all 5, though, he's the only one of the 5 that stayed with his only team. I mean, the other 4 bounced around to multiple different teams. Maybe that's just because his stay was so short.
Yeah.
To emphasize your stats, in his rookie season, he had 428 snaps. His second season, 79. So it just got away from him. and really had nothing to do with it. I know Darren College loved him. They may have even been teammates one year, but they were, Darren knew him and loved what Nate Potter was doing there. We love what he's doing here at Boise State right now, but just in terms of an NFL career, it doesn't always work out. And nice little cup of coffee is a good way to say it, but didn't quite put that sucker together.
I think that was Ryan Clady, who was the teammate of Nate Potter. Just missed Darren College.
That makes sense.
Number 4, who'd you go with?
I went with Brock Forsey, and that was a tough one for me. The fact that Brock Forsey, and I know we kind of joke about this and have for more than 20 years, a white running back in the NFL getting 100 yards. It just sounds funny, even though it's stupid to say. It's just really dumb to say. I mean, there's only 3 of them that have had in the last 20 years.
I mean, outside of Christian McCaffrey, I mean, we could spend all day talking about white running backs for the last 10, 12, 15 years. Not fullbacks, not scat backs, not converted things, like an actual halfback, running back, tailback. Yeah.
Played for Chicago, played for Miami, played 16 games. He had 2 starts over 2 seasons, carried the ball 69 times for 244 yards, got a couple of touchdowns. His overall career, 3.5 yards per carry. Again, he had that 100-yard game where he got a lot of headlines for the Chicago Bears. But after that, it was just kind of, there putting in his time for 2 years and then coming back here to Boise to come back to his roots and become a Boise businessman.
Yeah, we love bringing Brock Forsey on this show. Try to bring him on once a year and stuff like that. I was tough. For me, it was between Brock Forsey and a tight end who we'll reveal in a second. But the one thing I did like about Brock, I know his career was short, but man, he took over one game.
Yeah.
Brock Forsey had a game where he had 100 yards, a teeter, and a victory for the Chicago Bears. I think they played the Arizona Cardinals that day. I think I still remember it, and it was a big deal. I was living in Caldwell. It was a big deal for Boise State fans then to see their guy. Brock Forsey was so popular. He got a chance to play and had 100 yards rushing in that game. But yeah, he just wasn't able to hold on long enough. Brock Forsey's number 4 for me. Number 3, I'm getting to the tight end from Eagle High School, tight end high at Eagle, Derek Schouman for me.
Likewise, we're so far so good. 2007 draft pick, 7th round, 222 overall, 25 games, 15 starts over 4 seasons, caught himself 27 passes for 275 yards and a touchdown, mostly with Buffalo, finished off with a little cup of coffee with St. Louis. A pretty decent career, but compared to what we're about to unleash on you in terms of number 1 and number 2, it was tough to move Derek Schouman ahead of them. So I have him at number 3 on my list, Ballgame.
27 career catches for Schou. He was primarily a blocker, a third tight end, a jumbo goal line package guy, caught 1 touchdown in his career. Did Derek Schouman played in a total of 25 career games. He was often inactive, battled some injuries. Like you said, had the 1 year 08 where he played every single game for the Bills that year. Other than that, Prater, the most games he played in a season was just 4 for the St. Louis Rams in 2010.
Yep.
But to give Schou a lot of credit, he was on an active roster for 4 years in this league. I think, I'll have to ask him this, I think that qualifies him for pension. So when he turns 55 years old, he's going to get a nice little chiggity check every month for the rest of his life. So good for Schou. He qualified for pension, I think.
Yeah, I would need to confirm that.
Yeah,
that seems like a little short, but maybe he made around $2 million of official contract money in his career. So he did a nice job there. The pension stuff, I don't know how that works. I don't know if is it based on seasons or games.
Yeah, I think it's accredited seasons.
Okay,
and not how many games you played, just you're on the team that season. So I think that's what it is. But again, don't quote me either. Number 2,
Jeb Putzier, number 2 tight end out of Eagle High School.
Tight end high.
It's tough not to make Jeb Putzier number 1. A friend of this show, great guy, beautiful career, 7 seasons with all kinds of numbers. Battled injuries and concussions and head injuries later on in his career, turned that into an advocacy program later on in his civilian life. So Jeb Putzier, I thought he was a spectacular tight end for the Denver Broncos, played a little bit with Houston and Kubiak. I think he finished up in Seattle a little bit. But
cup of coffee.
Nice career there, 17 starts in 69 games. Jeb Putzier is my number 2 high school kid out of the Treasure Valley in the NFL.
96 career catches, 3 career regular season touchdowns, caught a teeter in the playoffs in 2004 for the Denver Broncos, I believe from Jake Plummer, which is kind of cool. Idaho, basically Boise, capital to Eagle connection there for a quarterback tight end. And yeah, very colorful guy, says what's on his mind. I love how Jeb comes on this show and just tells like, well, I hated this coach. That coach was a moron.
Yep.
This guy didn't know what he was doing. I love Jeb's attitude. You, I don't know if you actually covered him, but you were working with the Statesman when he was probably a very notable prep athlete, right? He was a good basketball player too, right? Didn't he play at BSU?
I don't think he played basketball at Boise State. He may have played there in high school. He certainly had the kind of body, great athlete. Absolutely. Yeah, I had a chance to cover him, got to know him a little bit, and got to know him better post-football. So that was always fun for me. But yeah, Jeb Putzier, a quality human being.
Number one. We have the same one, Prater, Shea McClellin.
Yeah, this one was kind of easy. I mean, slightly ahead of Jeb Putzier, but Shea did a lot of nice things. He didn't play as long as Jeb. Jeb played more games. Although Shea had more starts, double the starts. He had 35 starts during his career. We know he got a Super Bowl ring. He got a rule named after him. It was really weird how he was handled. Chicago and what he did at Chicago, and then he moved around and out of position here. He was a defensive end for the Bears, and he was an outside linebacker for the Bears, and he was an inside linebacker for the Bears, and then he went to New England where he kind of started a different position. So jerked around. Not sure the Bears did him any justice, but Shea McClellin made himself about $16 million, and he made himself a heck of a career. And I know he's hanging out here in the Treasure Valley still.
There's a bunch of people who are, we love this where, we have our criteria, and then the text line comes with a bunch of people who are saying you guys are leaving all these guys off the list. Should we save that for feedback?
Who we leaving out? Who we leaving out?
Cedric Minter.
We went with the modern FBS era.
Okay.
Cedric, man, we didn't go deep. We didn't go that deep.
Okay. And someone says John Bates lived in Fruitland. I thought it was Nissa.
John Bates is from Oregon.
Okay.
John Bates is from Oregon.
Nissa, Oregon. And I know that's
he may have lived in Fruitland, but he's an Oregon
and
kid.
then he moved to the other side of the state in Oregon to play his
Correct.
final 2 years of high school football.
Correct.
John Bates was not a Treasure Valley high school football player. So Cedric Minter could have went with him. I guess that's the case. So good stuff there. How about Mike Sanford Jr.?
Mike Sanford Jr., 5:15 here in about 5 minutes. Jordan Love's final college quarterback. Got him a first-round draft pick in the NFL. Mike Sanford's going to join us right now. QB1. Jordan Love. How's he going to do, ball game?
Of the Green Bay Packers. He'll be the third Packer quarterback to start week one since like 1993.
By the way, Cedric Minter was never drafted. So
he's not, so he doesn't qualify.
He doesn't qualify anywhere along the way. So Cedric Minter was a great player. He was a better human being. Love you, buddy. I wish we had a stronger relationship. I know you're not listening because you're way too good for that, but Cedric Minter did not get drafted.
God, you stinking wankers. Listen to us. Prater on the ball game.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.